gentlemen. You're not gonna get stopped out on all of them. Why? Because they are very consistent, ladies and gentlemen. So we're only looking for consistency. If you can be able to identify setups or pairs that are consistent, only trade that. Do not trade something that you're not sure whether it's consistent or no. I don't want to trade something that is consistent half of the time. No. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're trading here. We're working with big money, so we're not gambling here. You have to know your probabilities. You understand? This is a numbers game. So if you don't know that, then you're gonna have a very short trading career, unfortunately. So let me just go back to your slides there. So in terms of currencies, the dollar is the most consistent currency across the board. The setups I've shown you: technical confluences, market makers confluences, and market makers technicals and fundamental confluences. But I'm still gonna get into fundamentals right now. And then the entries, I've seen you high value entries and exits. When you exit, you wanna exit at an area that is a high value area as well. And then that is, okay, let me put it this way. I've told you about my golden Fibonacci entries and exits. So you enter at Fibonacci, you exit at Fibonacci. You enter at moving average, you exit at moving average. You enter at stop hunt, you exit at reversal. That's it, man. It's as simple as that. Exactly where you enter, it's gonna be exactly where you exit. If you enter at lowest price of the month with the Tuesday stop, second week Tuesday stop and low, you're gonna exit at the highest price of the month, which is the fourth week Tuesday stop and high, Tuesday Wednesday stop and high. When you enter, it's exactly where you're gonna exit. I hope that makes sense. So confluences, you've seen them: technicals, market makers, and fundamentals. So let's get into fundamentals, ladies and gentlemen. So okay, let me just get a glass of water real quick. So right now I just want to show you how to incorporate fundamentals in your trading. So the first things first: Monday morning or Tuesday, whenever you wake up or whatever you want to take a position. First things first, because now you have your profile set up. You want to go to LightForex. LightForex is a broker that will give you all the major currency indexes. You understand? Because I understand a lot of people only know the dollar index chart. You understand? So this is the dollar index, and then this is the euro index. This is the pound index, Switzerland franc index, Japanese yen index, Canadian dollar index, Australian dollar index, and New Zealand dollar index. So before you can get into anything, like what I do, I would just look at how the USD index is behaving, and then this will give me how the dollar is going to behave across the board. You understand? So by just looking at this, I can conclude that the dollar has been bearish for the past 1, 2, 3 days. You understand? The dollar has been bearish for the past 3 days, from since last week. Since last week, Tuesday. Since last week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, I think this was Tuesday. This was Friday, and then Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. So from Tuesday, Wednesday, the dollar has been very bearish. So from since last week, I had to solve the dollar. So after having analyzed the USD index, then you go to your trading charts. You open the dollar the dollar. There we go. Now we're in the dollar profile. Then we can conclude the dollar is bearish. As you can see, it's been bearish from last week. The dollar is bearish. It's bearish here. It's bearish there. It's bearish here. It's bearish here. And it's also bearish here. So let's go to another pair. Let's go to the euro index. The euro, how has the euro been behaving from since last week? It's been bearish from since last week. So let's go to the euro profile and see how the euros are behaving. There's our euro profile there. The euro has to be bearish as well. Okay, because the dollar has been weak, so the euro, it's a little bit, it's gaining strength only on euro USD. Remember, they're both weak, so that is why it's been ranging here like this. You should have a clue why is certain things happening. So let me just put in my euro dollar euro USD. There we go. So as you can see, I have my analysis already there, but then the euro has been ranging for quite some time. Why is it that? Because the euro is weak and the dollar is also weak. You understand? So it's not going anywhere. It's still gonna range like that. Uh, and then euro sterling dollar, it has to be bearish like this. As I said, euro CAD, it's bearish as you can see from last week. Even this one is bearish as well. Euro NZD is also bearish. Euro JPY is also very bearish. So let's go to the light forex again and check out how the pound is. The pound index is showing us a nice spike to the downside last week Tuesday, Wednesday. So let's see how that has turned out in our trading charts. Let's go to the pound profile. GBP/USD, same thing. It gave us that nice dip there. So let me just load the GBP USD analysis. GBP USD, there it is. GBP NZD, there's the pin there. GBP JPY, there's the pin to the downside. GBP CAD, the pin to the downside. GBP Australian dollar, GBP on the upside. I think you know why. It's because of the Australian dollar was very weak here. You understand? So when it was weak like that, instead of GBP going downwards, it went upwards. Because the Australian dollar was very weak. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I'm not just assuming that it was weak, because I have the light forex. I can see how all the index charts are behaving across the board. You understand? So the only reason why GBP Australian dollar gave us sort of like a pin to the upside is because of Australian dollar had problems, not because of the GBP, because of the Australian dollar. GPCHF, it still gave us the same thing, but why is the GBP AUD gave us that pin to the upside? Let's look at what the Australian dollar did. AUD, you see what I'm talking about? The Australian dollar was way weak. It was too weak, so it gave us that pin to the downside. So if it's weak like that, the GBP AUD definitely is going to give us pin to the upside, because why? Australian dollar is very weak. You understand? That is my point. So when you know how to use, this is fundamentals, ladies and gentlemen, because you look at one thing.
Incoming mail.
It's talking about one thing across the board. So when you look at Australian dollar like this and you see that it's been bullish like that, let me just go to the Australian dollar profile. Australian dollar, from since Tuesday, Wednesday last week, it's been bullish. It gave us a pin or to the downside, and then it's been bullish since then. So it gave us a pin to the upside because it's GBP AUD. Otherwise it could have been if the Australian dollar was the primary currency, we were gonna have a pin to the downside. So Australian dollar, because in this case it's the base currency, pin to the downside with this as well. Pin to the downside with this as well, pin to the downside with this as well, and pin to the upside. Exactly. Understand? So let's look at another one. That is how you should look at your that is how I consider my fundamentals. Because if ever, like, first things what I do when I wake up in the morning, first look at your economic calendar. By looking at your economic calendar, you only want to look at high impact and medium impact news. You don't look at low impact news, and you don't look at news that affect currencies that you do not trade. Because I trade USD, I want to look at the dollar news. Because I trade euro, I want to look at euro, GBP, CHF, JPY, Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, NZD, and exotics. You understand? Exotics, I'm referring to the South African rand, the Turkish lira, Swedish krona, Mexican peso, Norwegian krona, and Danish krona. You understand? So when you look at news, just look at the economic announcements that only affect the currencies that you are looking to trade. So after noticing that, okay, today there are gonna be news on the Canadian dollar, you go to the light forex, and then is it light forex? Yeah, it is. Okay, let me just do the light forex. Yeah, it is light forex. So let me just go to index charts. So in this case, we have high impact economic news on Canadian dollar. Let's say on New York Open. So we know that the precise time that the Canadian dollar is supposed to be moving today. So it's New York Open, and then what else do we have? it's like high impact news. So first things first, we go to the Canadian dollar index, we look at it, and then we analyze it. We analyze it, trying to look at where the Canadian dollar is likely gonna, go to. I'm just giving you an example. There's no economic news on the Canadian dollar today. First things, you look at what you see, what you can be able to identify first. So we can see there's a major support and resistance of that area. Here's two areas where the market is likely gonna retrace to, on that area there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna shade that real quick. Let me just, what's happening with you, let me just remove that, and then okay, I'm just gonna copy that right now, put it there. That is my first, my second value, high value area. This is my first. You first draw what you can see, you understand? So let me just do that. So obviously now we know that we have Canadian dollar news on New York Open today. So what do we expect on New York Open? We should expect a spike to the upside. To the upside. And then continuation with the downtrend. Because remember, we are trend traders. We're only interested in trading in line with the trend. So that's what you should do. Let me just copy that and okay. Just gonna put that there. What's happening? What's wrong with my thingy here? Okay, let me just put this here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this is my first high probability area, and this is my second high probability area. So if price stops me out here, then definitely from this area I'm gonna kill it. But for me personally, if it comes and to this area here, then for me personally, I would wait for this one. I would just wait for this one. So right now I'm just gonna whip my Fibonacci and measure the retracements. This is 618, and then this is 50%. So this 618 here, I'm highly interested in taking positions from that area there. So this is my first line of defense, and then this is where I don't compromise. I might get stopped out maybe 2 positions here, but here I'm gonna enter like 10 positions. So I hope that makes that makes sense. So when you look at your Canadian dollar index like that, so we're already expecting continuation on uptrend and then reversal. Continuation of trend for like let me see how many pips. 70 pips. So now that we've made a conclusion on the dollar index, remember we haven't looked at market makers, we're only looking at technicals right now. And then technicals, we have major support, horizontal support, and horizontal support and resistance area, and we have diagonal support and resistance, we have moving average, we have ADR there, we have Fibonacci there. So there are 4 confluences there with regards to market makers only. So 4 hours, there's nothing there. And then daily, what else do we have? Do you have any significant breakouts? Let me just draw from this low there. No, we don't. From those highs there, now we have actually you don't have anything there. So for me, I would just wait for price to come through these areas, not this one, the second one. So after having done that, now we go to our trading chart. We go to the Canadian dollar profile. Canadian dollar profile. There it is. Our first, it's almost the same thing. Can you see it? So this was my first high probability area, but then now that my mind has been changed, so I'll be looking to take positions here. This is Canadian dollar CHF. So let me just change that color into red. There we go. Or the price might likely just retrace from here. It's the same setup, you see. Let's go to Canadian dollar JPY. What do we have here? Canadian dollar JPY. Okay, let's just start with our trend lines to see where the trend is going. So we're just gonna do that. Change that color into black because all my trend lines are black in color. Just gonna zone that out real quick. So this is very fast, so I'm not looking into taking any positions on the Canadian dollar. Okay, let me just look at horizontal support and resistance. Okay, we might have something here. Okay, let's go to, no, we don't have much there as well. So we only have support and resistance and ATR. So let me just outline that, just put it in a pink color to signify that you're going south from here. Pink. There we go. So with regards to Canadian dollar JPY, I would also like to see this happen, because remember the Canadian dollar, before it goes bearish, we first need to see an up movement, and then from then on we can conclude that it can go downwards. But before it goes downwards, it needs to go up first. Only look at high value areas, ladies and gentlemen. And then when after finding all of them, you don't need to trade all of them. Just look for one that has very high probability. EuroCAD, obviously it's going south, because Canadian dollar in this case, it's a secondary currency. So let's just draw those trend lines from down there. Okay, let me just move there and drag this ones. Yeah, from there. And then this one as well. So this is just a quick trick to show you how to use, the light forex index charts to, kind of like create a bias as to where a certain currency is going across the board. Because for me, I don't regard to my setups as, nah, I'm taking a position on GBP USD or Euro USD or USD. No, I'm gonna tell you about the USD across the board, the Canadian dollar across the board, the euro across the board, the pound across the board. That is why I'm able to trade everything. Like if ever I'm trading the USD, I'm gonna trade all the USD base pair. USD CAD, USD JPY, USD CHF, GBP USD, Euro USD, Australian dollar USD, USD ZAR, USD NOK, USD DKK, USD TRY, USD RUB, and so forth. You understand? Everything that has to do with USD, then I trade it literally, because I know how the dollar is behaving across the board. So when you look at the dollar and then you have a bias on it, and then you look at the Canadian dollar, you have a bias for it, then you know where the USD CAD is going. That's it. Look at the dollar index, look at the Canadian dollar index, then already you have a bias on where the Canadian USD CAD is going. Look at the Euro CAD, Euro index, and then look at the Canadian dollar index, then you already know where the Euro CAD is going. Look at the Japanese index and look at the Euro index, you already know Euro JPY, where Euro JPY is going. So that is it. The trick is knowing where one currency is going across the board, and then you'll be able to analyze and then get a proper entry area. So remember, first things first, you look at your economic calendar, you see what's trading today, what's trending. You see it's Canadian dollar, you go to the Canadian dollar index, and then you analyze the whole thing. Then you go to your profile, you analyze all the currencies that are on the Canadian dollar profile, or the euro profile, your United States dollar profile. That is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't confuse yourself. Don't look at fundamentals. Let's say like, I want to trade NFP. No, you don't do that. You know how the market maker cycle is. You know you're expecting on the first week of each month, you're expecting Thursday midweek reversal or Friday NFP reversal. You understand? And then across the board, you know how the dollar is supposed to be behaving, because you've looked at the dollar index chart, and then you know how it's gonna be. Let me show you a trick on what happened on NFP on Friday, first week, January 2019. So right now we're just gonna go back to the light forex and the dollar. So you see what's happened here. So if you were able to identify this move here after this 15200, these are cross bounds, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we got a 15200 moving average crossover, and then it broke below, it came back to retest the 50. These are cross bounds. We got the 13 and 50. Remember, first crossover is 3 and 13. It's 3 and 13 first crossover, and then 13 and 50. Here it is right here, 13 and 50. And then after that, after 3 and 13 moving average crossover, we need to come back and retest the 13. Here it is, it came back and retested the 13. After 13 and 50 moving averages, we need to come back and retest the 50. After 50 and 200, we need to come back and retest the 200. After 200 and 800, we need to come back and retest the 800. So what happened here? We got the 3 and 13 moving average crossover, price came back and retested the 50 moving average. So when you see this, and it's NFP, and then this is a USD index chart. So let me just do US index. Let me just put that right there, and then take that a little lower as well. And let's take it back to 1 hour. So after noticing this, because I was expecting for a reversal here after level 1, level 2, level 3 reversal here. So I had bought most of the dollars, and when it goes up 20-30, I break even. It took me out. It's okay. I got taken out, not on a loss, but on break even. You understand? So no loss there. But then otherwise, look at it this way: 50 and 200 moving average close. 3 and 13, and then coming back to retest the 50, 13 and 50 rather. Excuse me. 13 and 50, and then coming back and retest that 50 moving average. So right there, you should be taking short pause, because it's NFP. What time is it? It was New York Open. Let me put it there. Let me show you. This was between 2 and 4. New York Open. You see, on the 15 minutes, we have that 200 moving average crossover. Right after 15-200, 15-200, but price comes below, it has to come back and retest that 200. If we get 3 and 13 moving, I call that cross bounds. We get 3 and 13 moving average crossover, then the price needs to come back and retest 13. That's a sell. We get 13 and 50 moving average crossover, the price needs to come back and retest that 50. Then we get 50 and 200 moving average crossover, the price needs to come back and retest that 200. We get 200 and 800, the price needs to come back and retest that 800. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. After you get 50 and 200, the price. If it comes back and retests the 200, you kill it. And it did exactly that. New York Open gave us that, and it came back and retested that. So this is a huge sell. You sell it there. Let's see how the dollar behaved across the board on the dollar profiles. And the same. You see how the dollar between 2:30 and 4, it gave us this was 2:30 and then 4. It gave us that touch there, and then came back and retested. So it's like an M formation, and this was the highest price of the day on that moving average. So let's go to the dollar profile. Let's open that. Let's go to the dollar and open it across the board. Okay, this was Friday, right? So let's just open there. Exactly between 2:30 and 4, it gave us that USDCHF Japanese yen. Let's go to 15 minutes. NFP, what happened? We didn't get any significant moves on the dollar, on the dollar yen, and then on the USD CAD we did get something here. As you can see, there's a pin right there. I know some people that were able to enter here, they took this position here, but I was just unable to. But it's cool, it's cool. We lose some, we win some. Okay, let me just do that. As you can see, between 2:30 and 4, the dollar went south. minutes between 2:30 and 4 the dollar went bullish. Let's go to 15 minutes. As you can see, on Friday it didn't exactly give us an exact entry timing, but then within that New York it gave us a nice reversal. GBP USD, I think this one gave us a very good one. I think this was a little later, but it was definitely around that, New York reversal times. Yeah, so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 15,200 coming back to reset the 200. Like, it's a cross bounce, ladies and gentlemen. You can be able to take very good high probability trading setups, looking at moving averages, like properly understanding the relationships between moving averages. You'll be able to take 13 moving average crossover and then the cross bounce, 13 and 15 moving average crossover and then the cross bounce, 200 and 800 moving average, 15 200 moving average crossover and then the cross bounce, 200 and 800 and then cross bounce. You'll also be able to take level 1 safety trades and then cross bounce. Like, it's on point. You can be able to trade and be very consistent, make good money with just from trading just moving averages, ladies and gentlemen, understanding them properly. So guys, I hope you'll be able to to incorporate this fundamentals properly. Trading, you don't just look at one economic announcement to then be like, I'm gonna trade this GBP USD. No. You first look at the currency index, then you'll be able to identify where the whole that particular currency, the bias of that particular currency across the board. I hope that makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go back to our slides so that we can be able to conclude what we're just talking about right now. Let's go back there. So I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that made sense. You should be able to identify your high probability trading currencies, setups, entries, exits, and confluences. This is, if you are able to do all that, you don't need to look at a lot of things. Just look at the dollar across the board. For starters, look at the dollar. Open a dollar index chart on Light Forex. Create a dollar profile with 6 pairs. Trade only there. Look at how the dollar is behaving. Look at your fundamentals. The economic the economic news is either from Forex Factory or my what do you call them? My FX book. So you can look at my FX book or any other economic calendar that you a reliable economic calendar. So you can just look at that. So we did that. We covered continuation, simple patterns, continuation, reversal, symmetric. You can use that. Remember, it's simple patterns. Continuation patterns can be your flags and pennants. Reversal patterns is your head and shoulders, double tops, triple tops, or bottom. Symmetric could also be your what you call your triangles, because we have ascending, descending, and a symmetric triangle. So symmetric basically are patterns that you can break out on either side, the upside or the downside. And then we also have harmonic patterns. We have Gartley, Cypher, Bear, Total, and Butterfly. I trade all of them. We also have support and resistance. We covered trend lines and trend channels, Fibonacci, golden Fibonacci retracements and extensions. We also covered moving averages. So with regards to technicals, now we know which technicals we should be concerned about, and then which confluences should we look at, and so forth. Market makers, we've seen the accumulation phases. We've looked at intraday, intra-week, intra-month, intra-quad, intra-year, intra-5-year, and intra-20-year cycles. So let me show you, before we conclude this chapter, I didn't cover the intra-quad cycle, because remember on this section here, we talked about intra-day, intra-week, intra-month, intra-year, intra-5 years, intra-20 years, and levels, but we didn't really get into intra-4-month cycles or the quad cycle. So I want to show it to you real quick right now. So let me just get it here. Let me just open that for you real quick. Let me just close that. Yeah, here's our intra-quad cycle. This was November 2017. This was accumulation phase. December 2017, stop hunt, long sustain run. January, February, reversal. March 2018, this was accumulation, and then April 2018, stop hunt, long sustain run. So I took this one. I wasn't able to take this one, but I definitely took this one. Understand? I remember taking this one. I also took this one. So 2018 was a very good year for me. Accumulation March 2018, April 2018 stop hunt, and then long sustained run. May gave us a nice crossover there. 15 200 moving average crossover. It's a cross bounce, and then coming back to retest the 800. That's the cross bounce. And then after having noticing, you can take positions here, excuse me, and then also there as well. November 2017 accumulation, December 2017. Everyone that had bought that sold here and here, they got stopped out with this pin here. They got stopped out because this was the interquarter stop hunt and then long sustained run, and then January 2018 price reversal. Look at it. This was gold. This was USD CAD. This is GBP Australian dollar. This is GBP AUD. So accumulation March 2018, April 2018 stop hunt, long sustained run, and then reversal June 2018. Accumulation. This is GBP JPY accumulation. When this was March, April 2018 stop hunt, long sustained run, reversal there. And then on the last week of the month, actually last month, no, actually what am I saying? No, it's okay, but as you can see, we got our reversal on the third month. As much as we can get our reversal on Thursday or on the third week or on the third month, we can also get our reversal in the third month. Yeah, that's it, because this what 1 2 3 4 weeks, 1 2 3 4 months. So there we go. Fortunately, you'll be able to get this document, and you'll also be able to read everything that I have here. So you'll be able to, basically see what I mean. Also have our trading rules in here. Let me just show you some of my trading rules. I also have some of the setups that I was able to enter. You'll be able to see how I got in. It's very simple and straightforward. Tuesday stop and low on top of the 800 moving average. You take it, you kill it. Here's another one, guys. This is super consistent. This is very good, guys, man. So just study this, and then be profitable and make money. So I want to show you entry rules. Like, this document has everything. Every trading currency, high value trading areas, high value trading pairs, high value trading times, and so forth. High probability trading setups and categories. The market maker cycle trading rules: always protect your trading equity. No revenge trading, no leveraging accounts, no over trading, no premature market entries, no trading without defined stop losses, no trading every day. You have index there, trade management, how to break even, book profits, and how to close manually. And then different types of trading, trade durations. We have intraday setups, which could take from 4 to 8 hours. When you're entering the morning during London, you close during the New York reversal later in the afternoon. You enter stop hunt Tuesday, Wednesday, you close Thursday, Friday. You enter on the first or second week, you close the fourth and the fifth week. Yeah, that's it. Our targets, it's moving averages and trend lines, support resistance areas, Fibonacci extensions and retracements. Fridays as midweek reversals, or the fourth or fifth weeks of a month. Stop losses 50 pips maximum. Guys, this you just need to have this. So, but then you're gonna get it because you guys are paying for these things. So let me just go back to our slides so that we can be able to proceed. The market makers, we done there. So right now I'm just gonna show you how to draw. I'm just gonna show you how to draw the market maker cycles from scratch, and then basically how you'll be able to do all these things by yourself, from making properly, how to create your analysis from scratch. Understand? So I'm just gonna take a short break, and then I'm gonna come back just now. And then right now we're gonna get into how to draw and make your analysis and how to anticipate. So in this slide I'm gonna show you how to do everything from scratch, basically. So including how to opening your economic calendar and so forth. So